Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Good morning, family. Good morning, my loves. My name is Lisa Kidd, and I'm owner of Glamtique Studio Online Boutique. I am, a psychic, intuitive, developing some mediumship abilities here too. I don't know. The titles don't really matter to me, honestly. I know that I'm somebody that has trained themselves to tap into their gifts. The gifts that we all have and we all share. But I've trained myself to tap into my gifts, to raise my vibration to a certain point that I can receive messages from the divine, from the angels, from my ancestors, from my spirit guides, from all of these teams. I can read energies pretty freaking well. So with all of this shit combined, you just get me. So that's my intro, okay? It's been a while. I wanted to make a few videos. I know I always say this, but I really am going to try to get more regular with this. It's just as I've been growing and growing my business, growing my channels, growing my groups, everything, just growing. A lot of the time, sometimes here and there, I am going through a growth period also myself, as we never stop growing. So sometimes in my physical and my ego, I might think like, oh, I can get this done or I can do this. And my higher self is saying, no, sit your ass down. It's going to take a little bit more time, So I'm learning myself also, okay? So I wanted to make a few quick videos today. Just talking about different things that's been on my mind, things maybe I've been growing through, and I feel like certain messages that I go through, I also feel in the collective as well. So we're going to start off real quick. The first thing I wanted to talk about today, let's see. Oh, yes, okay. So, like I just said, a lot of times I go through a little ascension processes myself, and sometimes I can recognize them for what they are and sometimes I don't. So, recently I have been going through an ascension process. And with that being said, I feel like a lot of people at this time are. I feel like a lot of people are growing. A lot of people are learning things about themselves that we move away from. And I'm not saying we are moving away from religion, because some people like religion. Some people need religion. Some people, religion is good for them, if you need that type of guidance. Okay, as long as you have a good leader, I'll say. If you have a good pastor, a good priest, whatever, I'll say, then, there's nothing wrong with walking in your spirituality in that way if it works for you. Okay, but for people that are just out here winging it like I am and just using their intuition and what they have inside and the knowledge that they learn and from what they're reading and what they're learning, sometimes we go through these motions, and it's a lot when you're learning to rid your old self and turn into your new self. So the first thing I want to talk about today, not to beat around the bush, is but turning into your new self, becoming your new self. Not only just becoming your new self, doing away with the dark side of yourself, but not doing away with it so much as you come into balance with it and come into grasp it and respect it as much as you respect your light side. Respect your dark side, respect your trials, your traumas, your tribulations as much as you respect the celebrations and your wins, The reason I say that is because a lot of times I feel as we focus only on the big picture. We're idealists a lot, in the West, we have a lot of excess, okay? Extra everything. People want large plates, big watches, big cars, we want that excess. That's how they trained us with the consumerism, okay? So, there's nothing wrong with that. If that fits you and your lifestyle and you're still living true and being authentic to yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. So that's not what I'm saying. But the thing is also recognize and appreciate your weaknesses for what they are. Because the fact of the matter is, you can't have those light moments without the dark moments. So you can't really, I wrote it down right here, hold on. There was this one quote I really wanted. You can't celebrate your growth, I didn't want to forget this point. You cannot celebrate your growth in isolation. Meaning you can not only just celebrate the good parts, you have to respect, what did I say? Yeah, respect celebrating your dark just as well, okay? Appreciate the trip ups and the fallbacks and the things that you've had that have made you to understand your growth. You know, just like right now in the news everywhere, Sha'Carri Richardson, you know, with the smoking the weed. Okay, it's great that she celebrated her win for the Olympics. But in such the world that we live in today, I'm so proud of her for being so authentic and standing in her truth and her own accountability and celebrating her darkness just as well, you know, and understanding at such a young age that this younger generation has it packed though down. The ones that got it, they got it. Anyways, but she's celebrating also, you know, her dark moments. And that is so freaking good because so many of us, we try to hide them. You know, but a lot of that darkness is what makes you and makes you who you are, the things that you've been through. So that was a message that I was getting from the collective this week. To not be so ashamed of what you've been through. Because a lot of times once you get on this journey, and especially the ones that stick to this journey, I'm going to tell you what you've been through is kind of what makes you. You know, this road is not for the faint at heart. People think like, oh, spirituality, I can do whatever. No, the fuck you can't. Okay? You really can't. You start living your life, you can do what you want to do, but you start living your life in a different type of servitude. Depending on who you believe in. I still believe in God, you know, so I still act certain ways, but also not just God, but God in myself. So, you know, it's so easy to let people disrespect you and let people get over on you and let people down you and to put yourself through bullshit because why, oh, I'm going to make this person happy or I'm going to do this, but it's hard as fuck when it comes to really, like, it's not hard, you know, once you get used to it, but at first that change, because that's not how we're raised to be. Okay, so at first that change is so hard. It's so hard to start saying just no, telling people no. I want to take this time out and I'm going to carve this time out for myself. I have problems with that because I'm such a giver and my friend calls me and I'm like, oh, okay. But I have to be like, no, sometimes, you know, like, no, I'm reading. No, I'm studying. I'm in meditation. And carve out those times for myself. And when you live in a world, like I used to be an aide, so when you live in a world of where you're just used to serving others, you know, sometimes taking just those simple steps for yourself can be so hard, but they are so worthy. You know, a lot of people get downtrodden by life. They get downtrodden by, like I said, the things that happen to them, the choices that they've made, the fact, like I said, of being in service to others, you know, and they remain in service to others until the day they die, which is cool. I mean, that is what God kind of wants you to do, but that's not what he meant. And our biggest way to serve the collective, to serve the universe, to serve people as a whole is to serve ourselves. Be true to ourselves. Be true to our own spirituality. Find out what our own spirituality is, what our own life purpose is, you know, and contribute that in a way that none other can because it's yours, okay? So that was the first thing that I really wanted to talk about. Let me see. Oh, also, I'm going to talk about this in this video as well. Falling off of ritual. Do not beat yourself up for falling off of ritual. Get back on. It's always a new day and a new moment and a new time, okay? So just get back on. There's no falling off. There's improvement because you recognize that you fall off. I've been struggling with falling off of rituals. So these are all topics this is things that I've been going through myself, you know? So just carving out set times for yourself, especially as entrepreneurs, you know? It can be very hard sometimes as an entrepreneur to really treat your own business like you would when you're working for a large corporation, you know, but we really need to, as small business owners and as part of us providing our good customer service, we're going to have to start carving out time, setting our hours, setting our boundaries, you know, and that setting our boundaries with our customers and things is going to help us to set boundaries within ourselves and to help us grow and do our job more diligently and better for our customers, okay? Taking time out just to breathe, you know, and I understand that you might be grinding, like I'm in grind mode right now. You know, this is the first 5 years of this business. I've been in business for a while, but like since I've really been taking it seriously, yes, like on it for me, this is my second year in business. Okay, so yeah, these first 5 years, as I say, it's grind mode, you know, so you really have to carve out that time for yourself, but as you're doing so, make sure you're carving out time actually for yourself. You know, take care of your business all day, all night, set them hours, work hard, bust them goals out. But also make sure that you take at least an hour at a time. Like I've literally started for myself. I started making myself go to bed early, okay? So I normally try to go to bed. Right now, my habit building is in trying to be in bed by 10 o'clock, okay, at the latest. I know that sounds old as shit, but with my type of business, that's what I have to do. You know, and that's why I say that this shit is not for the faint of heart. And I'm not talking about just spirituality. I'm not talking about entrepreneurship. I'm talking about taking time out for yourself. And that is your spirituality, okay? Got a feather. But it's kind of hard, you know, so I don't know, I'm all over the place, but I just talk as I channel and as Spirit talks to me, okay? So, but yeah, I have to make myself go to bed early, okay? For the most part. I had lost my train of thought, sorry you guys. But I had to make myself go to bed early. So now I go to bed, try to be in bed at the latest at 10 o'clock. I really try to be in bed around 9:30, and that's just because that's how my schedule is set up. It's set up to wake up at 4:44 every day. Of course, I had to pick that number, okay? So, and the reason I wake up at that time is because I have to get up and I have to do my spiritual showers and my bath and my meditation and things, and I like to do so before anyone else reaches me for the day. And people normally start reaching out to me around 8 or 9 o'clock, okay? So I've started trying to discipline myself to get up, which means I can't kick it or go out or do the things that most other people can do. And that's the sacrifices that I choose to make for myself, for my business, for my spirituality. And that's what I'm talking about. And your spirituality, all it is, it's staying true to you, staying authentic to you without harming others, being a good fucking person, okay? And contributing what you have to contribute to this world, because we're waiting on you. Like I said, we all have our own gifts, you know? So find your spirituality, find your purpose. Like I said, don't stop celebrating just your growth. Celebrate those dark spots too, those moments when you cried, those moments when you had no idea where you was going to go or what steps you were going to take, but you was beautiful enough to surrender to your process and to your being. Celebrate all that shit, okay? Alright, so I didn't want this video to be too long, and I know I started rambling and, you know, my mind was going all over the place, but I hope you guys got some good points from it. Okay, so I say, and I will see you all later.